I'm going to take a look at some of the most common Eyeworld edits we make during an installation or training. First, we'll look at how to go into edit mode in MindExpress. Then we'll see how to move a button, either dragging a button to a different place on a page or moving a button to a different page. We'll look at how to adjust the accessibility of a button to make it invisible or non-selectable, how to edit the size of the text on a button, and how to edit the phone number for the emergency text alert button. First, going into edit mode. Using your external keyboard, holding down the Function key and selecting F2 will pull up the edit mode. You'll see the edit frame on the right side of the screen. You can also use the trackpad or mouse or touch screen to select the settings menu using the 3 lines at the top left corner of the Eyeworld window. If the screen is maximized and you don't see this menu button, press the escape button on your keyboard. Now let's move a button. First, I'll move a button to a new location on the same page. Here, I'm on the Eyeworld homepage. Let's say I want to move the social button to the top row and move the medical button to its place on the bottom row. I go into edit mode by pressing Function and F2 on my keyboard, and now it's in edit mode. I'm going to click on the medical button here on the top row. We see it is selected. If I click and drag it, I can bring it down to the left side of the bottom row, and I'll release the mouse button when it's in the new spot I want it. You can now see the social button has replaced it on the top row. They just switched places. I'm going to do the same thing now using the touch screen. Using my finger, I'm going to tap and hold on the social button here on the top row, then drag my finger to that location on the left side of the bottom row. I lift my finger and now they have switched places again, back to their original locations. That is moving buttons around on a single page. But what about when someone wants to change pages? This is something we hear a lot. I want a button that's on the second page to be on the first page. We can do this by copying, cutting, and pasting. First, take a look down here at the bottom of the screen. You see these arrow buttons. These navigate between pages within edit mode. Right now, we are looking at the home screen. This is the first page of all of the pages of Eyeworld. The second page of the menu is page 2, so we can easily get there by tapping this arrow button. If you wanted to access any other page, this button with the 3 dots pulls up all of the pages of Eyeworld. But for now, we are just using the home screen and the second page of the menu, so we don't need this full list. I am going to move the email inbox button to the second page and the call bell to the first page. First, I'll copy the email inbox button. I'm going to start by selecting this button and dragging from the corner to make it smaller. This just ensures I have room for it on its destination page. Now I want to copy and delete this button. The easy way to do that is to cut. You can cut from the menu that comes up when you right-click, or if you're using the touch screen, you can use the cut-paste option on the editing menu on the right. Now, let's use the arrow on the bottom of the screen to move to the next page, the second page of the menu. I'm moving the call bell button, so I'll select it by tapping once, then drag up with my finger or mouse from the corner to change size. Now I tapped the empty space beside it, and I can paste by using the right-click menu or the paste button. I'll repeat the cut for the call bell button by selecting it, then right-clicking to cut. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the size of the email inbox button by dragging the corner here. Then I'll use the arrow buttons at the bottom of the page to return to the first page of the menu, select this empty space, right-click and paste, and adjust the size of the call bell button. The green checkmark button at the bottom right corner completes the editing I've done and takes me back to the home page of the menu. If you need to undo, you can use this undo arrow button. And now you see the call bell button is on the first page, just like my patient requested. If you'd like to make a button invisible or non-selectable or both, you can go into edit mode, select the button, and on the right side, scroll to the heading Properties. Right now, both visible and selectable are highlighted. I can unselect either or both of these, and you'll see what happens in the Notes button. This red X shows the box has been made invisible. A small red dot with an X on the bottom right corner makes it unselectable. You can do either or both of these for any button. I just made the Notes button both invisible and unselectable. Now, when I click on the green checkmark button and go back to the home page, we see a blank space where that button was. It's still there, just hidden and unselectable. On that same button, let's say I want to make the text larger. Going back into edit mode, we'll look at that button's style. A style often controls more than one button. For example, on this menu, we can see that all of the buttons have the same color and font. This is the style, and that style controls all of the buttons set to that style. If you want to change only a single button, you'll select Style. And at the bottom of this screen, select the yellow New button. Remember, if you edit an existing style, it will affect every button with that style setting. So when I tap New, it copies everything that currently exists for this button, but won't change the other buttons that I don't want to mess with. Over here on the right, you have a few options. If this toggle is set to Yes, the label will automatically adjust size to fit the cell. If you don't want the font size to be set automatically, you can toggle this to No. Then select Font Label and adjust the size manually. Here, I change the font size from 22 to 36. I can also change the font color, make it bold, italicize, etc. from this menu. When I hit OK, now we see the larger label on just this single button. Remember, if you need to undo, you can use the undo arrow at the bottom. The last thing I'm going to do is set the phone number for the emergency text we have on the call bell page. The first thing I did was add the contact. I just added myself to the contact list. Now, I'll open the call bell page and go into edit mode by pressing Function and F2. When I select the green text alert button, we see the action here is to text, "I need some help," and then to send. We want to edit who this is being sent to, so I'll tap on the pencil here. Where it says Select Person, this is a drop-down menu that will list anyone you have saved in the contacts. I only added myself, so right now my name is the only one that we see. I select my name, and my number is now listed. When I hit OK, and the green check mark to save, this green button will now automatically text my number when selected.